This story goes back 9 years ago when I was in grade 12. I had a friend who always wanted to pursue his passion, but his family made him pick a very conventional path. He wanted to go to a very big university, but his parents couldn't afford it. So he went to a college that was very close to his home. Now, because my friend didn't like his college or his subjects, he started to do just the bare minimum to complete his degree and say yes to any job offer he got. The important thing to note here is that he wanted to learn so much more, but didn't know where to start. So he just went with the flow, without realizing that life could offer him so much more. We all have been in similar loss situations. I myself have changed my career 3 times in the past 6 years because planning my career was actually very hard. But what if 2025 could finally be the year you find your dream career? Because it doesn't matter what is your age or educational background. The framework I will teach you today will unlock a step-by-step career plan for you, that too all for free. Welcome to our first principles series from the Cutting Edge School, where we will teach you the basics of living a healthy, productive and successful life. Finishing your homework from this episode will also help you get a certificate of achievement. We will pick winners within 5 days after the release of this video. There's a lot to learn, so without further ado, let's get started. Let's begin with a simple framework to identify what kind of a situation you're in. I'll ask you 2 questions. Do you have a job? And do you need a job? On y-axis, we will have do you need a job? So on the top, we'll have yes. On the bottom, we'll have no. On x-axis, we will put do you have a job? On right, we will have yes, and on left, we'll have no. Also, credits to Ankur Warikoo sir for introducing this framework to me. The framework that I'll teach you right now is heavily inspired by what he taught me. Now I want you to number these quadrants in clockwise order. Each of these quadrants have their own strategies. Let's pick quadrant 1, where you don't have a job and you need a new job. This is where you need to hunt for new opportunities. You need to understand that you cannot hunt unless you are clear about what you want and you have the intellect plus the caliber to deserve what you want. No matter what people say, you don't choose a career based on pure interests. You need to practically assess your strengths and weaknesses, check if your intellect is compatible, check if your innate personality is compatible, and check if the world in general would regularly pay you for it. We have already discussed a very detailed Q&A on assessing your strengths and weaknesses and wants in our previous video on the same topic. We had created a proper worksheet for you to work on. I'll share the link to the same PDFs and videos in description. In our second quadrant, we have someone who has a job but still wants a new job. Could be because she's not happy enough or not getting paid enough or simply wants a change. This is where you are in search mode. In both hunt and search mode, the objective is same, to get a new and a better opportunity. But in hunt mode, things are more tense because you have no financial backing to pay your bills. In search mode, you have a pillow that is good enough to fall back on. The strategy I will teach you right now will help people who are in either hunt or search mode. The point is, you need to focus on becoming really good at a skill that helps a business either save time or make money, then being visible in front of recruiters who need people like you, and have proof of work or proof of potential that you can sell to these recruiters. As a self-taught beginner, case studies, portfolios, and certifications can help you build that proof of potential when you apply for high-level jobs. But not everyone has the budget to invest in expensive courses. But if you're someone who's motivated to upskill and wants to learn professional grade skills for free and get a certificate, then you should check out the sponsors of today's video, IBM SkillsBuild. As soon as you click on the link in description, you will have access to a series of practical courses on data science, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and a lot more. The best part is that as you learn, you will keep earning digital credentials that will help you display your new skills to the entire world. In fact, to get started, you should check out these 3 high-demand certified courses. Use generative AI for software development, explore text-to-speech using IBM Watson, and build your first chatbot. Whenever you learn and make notes, make sure you tag me and use the hashtag IBM SkillsBuild. Now, as I said, you need to be good, visible, and have proof of potential. The question is, how do you become good and visible in the first place? How do you know what it takes to get better? And how exactly do you create a roadmap for yourself when nobody is there to mentor you? Well, here is a 10-step process that I call Fast Career. Each letter represents a step or a group of steps. Let me explain them one by one. First, we have figuring out your innate qualities. Now, let me share a personal story. When I was young, I always loved watching movies, listening to music, and just figuring out how something has been designed. I would go to a movie and very, very minutely notice what have they done with the fonts, the storyline, and everything. But I still ended up pursuing engineering, which has now helped me a lot because even though I did engineering, somehow I figured out that my innate qualities lie in intersections of domains and not just in engineering. So I ended up becoming a content creator. Because I was an engineer, I was able to learn about AI very quickly and then build systems that help me and my team grow very, very fast. If you want to become good at something, you really need to love it. Otherwise, you'll just not be able to go through all of the hardships and all the difficulties that will come in your way. The second part here is asking yourself what you truly want. When I was in college, what I wanted was very, very different from what my friends wanted. My friends wanted a very, very big brand, a very fancy office. They wanted to leave their hometown and go to a bigger city. In my case, I wanted things like the ability to wake up at whatever time I wanted, the ability to stay with my parents. I wanted to be famous. I wanted freedom. I wanted to look great. I wanted to buy fancy clothes. I didn't want a disciplined routine. And I get bored very easily. So I wanted to do new things every single month. And there's a very soft balance that you have to create between what you want and what the world will actually give you. Because this entire game is not about what you want, right? It also depends on what you truly deserve. But in general, if you ask yourself what do you truly want, whether you want to be in front of the camera, whether you want to be building or maintaining, do you want to do some research, or do you want to be hands-on? Do you want to have a role that allows you to speak to a lot of people, or do you want to do something that lets you stay in a corner? You need to ask yourself about what you really want. And these answers will only come when you figure out your innate qualities. So step 1 and step 2 is all about reflection and asking yourself who you are and what is it that you truly want. Once done, the next step is to search the accurate job descriptions using AI tools. So what you need to do is you need to make a list of your innate qualities, the kind of work you want to do in life, the kind of money you want to make in life, and then go to any AI tool. It could be ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini. All you need to do is copy paste this prompt with your own personal details. So you have to basically put in exactly what you're looking for, what are your innate qualities, and then ask ChatGPT that what are the latest careers and job domains you think I should explore. Because if you don't have a mentor, at least AI can help you look in the right direction. Once you get a list of these JDs, which are job descriptions, you need to move on to the next step where you need to target the right JDs on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is extremely powerful. I am 100% sure that a lot of you people are not using LinkedIn properly. In fact, let me know in the comment section if you want a detailed video on how to use LinkedIn in the first place. But for now, what you need to do is once AI or ChatGPT gives you a list of job descriptions, you need to circle out some JDs that you like. But do not circle more than 4 or 5. Just pick the ones that feel very exciting to you. Then you need to copy them, go to LinkedIn, and then search for those JDs. You need to figure out what these JDs even look like. So once you search for a specific JD, there's a jobs column where you will see job openings for those JDs. Once you have all of these links ready, bookmark them, because this is where your research will actually begin. Because we will come to the next step, which is about comparing which JDs make you feel comfortable. So when you shortlist say 5 to 6 different JDs that ChatGPT recommended you, you'll have to read the responsibility section and the expectation section. Once you figure that out, you'll have to see where do you feel more comfortable, what makes you feel more excited, what exactly can you do without feeling much tired. Because the thing is, in your entire day, most of your time should be spent on doing things that give you energy. Personally, that has been my goal from day one. Of course, we live in a world where you have to do some things that you do not like. I do not like to eat certain things, but I know that they're very healthy for me. Now that I'm running a company, now that I'm running a school, there are so many things that I don't like to do, but I have to do them, and they do drain me, but they're very, very important. And I'm pretty sure you've seen the entire Eisenhower Matrix, right? Of delegating, rejecting, all of those things. I'm not going to repeat that again, but I'll share a link in description that will teach you when do you delegate something, when do you do it later, when do you do it now as an urgent task. But the overall summary here is that when you go through these JDs, you have to ask yourself, are these responsibilities and expectations helping me feel better, feel more excited? And then you have to shortlist which JDs have the maximum number of responsibilities that will give you energy. If you're trying to apply for a job that will drain you only because you need some money, do it, but do not do it forever. Do it for the next 2 to 3 years years because you need to pay the bills. I'm not that kind of a guy who will tell you that, oh, you should not do a job until unless you're passionate about it. Don't do a job just for money. I feel like different people come from different backgrounds, and if you do not have somebody at home to take care of the bills, and if you want to grow in life, you need to have some money in your pockets. But remind yourself that what you're going through right now is not your permanent state of being. So you can struggle right now and be in a job that you hate for the next 2 to 3 years. Trust me, even in that job, you will learn something. There is nothing that goes wasted. Of course, 2-3 years is nothing for a young person. But if you are at the age of say 35 or 40, and if you're starting your career now, then you need to ask yourself, what is your innate qualities and strengths? Because your flexibility will now go very rigid. Like, you won't be so flexible. Like, a 35-year-old person is not as flexible as a 22-year-old person, because a young person can eat cheap food, travel in a shitty bus, and just do whatever it takes to get the job done, because a young person will have more energy. But that is not the case with somebody who's senior. So if you're somebody who's beyond the age of 35, you should probably sit online and learn a new skill, and then figure out how you can start as a freelancer and just do some work to get some money on board, and then train yourself, improve yourself, and then eventually go for a job that is a good intersection between what the world wants and what are your interests in. Now, once this comparison is done, you will obviously shortlist a list of say 2 or 3 JDs out of 5 or 6 JDs. After this is done, you need to analyze real professionals that are actually doing these jobs in your dream companies. For example, if you want to become a product manager and a company like Cred or Swiggy is your dream company in India, then you need to analyze real people who are product managers in your dream companies. If you want to be say a software engineer and your dream company is IBM, then you need to figure out who are real software engineers living in India who are working in an IBM office, either remotely or somebody who's working in the US. And when you analyze these profiles, you need to figure out their education background, the time they have spent, the way they have written about their experience, the kind of projects they have worked on, because this is how you reverse engineer your dream destination and your current state. So there's a point in your life where you know that I have to go somewhere, right? But when you have an ideal, when you have a clear map, when you have a practical list of requirements and expectations that the world will have from you, things become very, very easily. Your next step after analyzing these people is to reach out and connect with them on LinkedIn. Do not ask them anything. Do not DM them. They are too busy. Don't ask them for favors or internships or jobs. Just connect with them and let them notice you. Build in public, learn in public. The more you post on LinkedIn, if you have 50 product managers following you, and if you're learning in public for the next 3 years, in most cases, they will only come up with a new opportunity. Once you build this habit of regularly finding similar people like you and then reaching out to them, and when I say reach out, it's just connecting with them or engaging on their posts publicly, not on DMs. You have to engage with them with comments that show that you're actually interested in the subjects that they are talking about. Once you've done this and once you've been building in public for 1 or 2 years, in parallel, you need to explore first principles of the roles that you're applying for. So when I say first principles, these are classical things, right? You can't really change first principles. For example, in video editing, the importance of having clear audio, good contrast, it's a first principle. In graphic designing, knowing how to use the basics of typography, knowing how to use clear copy, first principles, right? So you need to learn these first principles and then build in public or learn in public and write about what you're doing in a simple language so that eventually these people start noticing you. Once you are exploring the first principles, you need to start educating yourself with a proper plan. And I've spoken about this again and again, but just to revise, when you're learning a new skill, you need to understand that every skill has 2 parts. You have the tool and then you have the subject. The subject again has 2 branches. You have trending topics that are new and very exciting, and then there are first principles. You need to make sure that you create a proper plan, a week by week plan to first learn the first principles and the tools in parallel, and after you've spent at least 3 to 4 months practicing the tools and practicing the first principles, you can then move on to learning all the new trending things. For example, in product management, you need to learn your basic tools like Slack, Notion, Miro, Jira, Google Calendar, Google Workspace. All of these basic tools are like very, very important for a PM to know. So once your tools are being learned in parallel, you need to learn first principles. As a product manager in a tech industry, once you figure out the JDs, you'll realize that a lot of people will expect you to know the basics of writing a strong PRD, of setting timelines, of understanding how should the UX be, of creating basic user journeys and maps. A lot of roles will also require you to conduct research interviews, creating surveys. All of these things you have to make a list of, and then make sure that you're consistently learning the first principles. Another very important subject for product managers is on cognitive biases and mental models. Websites like growth.design, Inside BE, Medium Publications, Build for Mars, GrowthX, all of these portals will help you understand the first principles of product building. Once you have spent enough time doing all of this learning, you will move on to the next step, which is revealing your progress by learning in public. And this is very basic. You just need to write text posts on whatever you're learning with a picture on LinkedIn and Twitter. It will not only help you be more visible, but also help you just keep all of your learnings in a very neat manner. In fact, if you want to learn how I write, how I document, how I basically store all of the things that I learn, then you should check out our free Notion documentation course. I will put the link in description. I've also noticed that a lot of people in our community pick one of the following 5 careers. First is of course UX design or product design. Then we have product management. Then we have marketing designers. Then we have web designers or web developers, and then content creation. Now, if you're a student or any young professional interested in these specific domains, I've listed top documentations, podcasts, best YouTubers, and free resources to help you get started with the first principles for all of these domains. So you have absolutely no excuse. I've given you everything you need with a proper roadmap. Now, to win the certificate of achievement from us, you need to follow 4 steps. Go to the link in the description and create your free account on IBM SkillsBuild. Pick any course you like and register for it. Go to LinkedIn and tell us what you learned from this video, and tell us which course have you decided to learn from IBM SkillsBuild and why. Make sure you tag me and IBM SkillsBuild on your LinkedIn post. Copy the URL of your post and email us on giveaway@anshmehra.com. Make sure that your email includes your full name, your WhatsApp phone number, your full address where we will ship the certificate, and your LinkedIn profile. Also, do not forget to add IBM certificate in the email subject line. Terms and conditions for the giveaway are in description. We will pick winners within 5 days post the release of this video. Make sure you write your feedback or questions in the comment section below. Click on the subscribe button and hit the bell icon right now, because most of you have not done it. 80% of you are still subscribed, but you've not clicked on the bell icon. So make sure you do that so that you keep learning with us. If you want us to train your company on the latest AI tools and productivity, then send us an email on collab@anshmehra.com. We've been consulting and training businesses all around the world. With that being said, I hope that you're taking care of your mind and body. This is your dost Ansh Mehra signing out. If you want to learn the basics of latest AI tools like ChatGPT and Midjourney, then this playlist of masterclasses will help you get started.